All right, the Texas General Land Office helping the state battle President Biden's wide-open border crisis by giving the Texas Department of Public Safety access to patrol several acres of land. Well, the islands in the middle of the Rio Grande are hot spots, now we are learning, for illegal migrants. They are hiding there and evading arrest. Joining me right now in this Fox Business exclusive is Texas Land Commissioner Dr. Dawn Buckingham. Dr. Buckingham, thanks very much for being here. We are interested in this. You're using any and all means available to the agency to gain operation control of that border. Tell me about these islands and what migrants are doing.
You are exactly right. Good morning. It's great to be on with you. I am so excited today to be announcing that we are going to be able to give access to the Texas Department of Public Safety and our Texas Rangers to these islands that, you know, one of the things the General Land Office does that most people don't know is we determine the center of a waterway, which in this case is the actual border. And so we've been able to determine these islands belong to Texas. We are going to give law enforcement every opportunity to patrol them. We're going to get rid of the carrizo cane, which is a very thick cane. Even if you're standing 5 feet from me in that cane, an infrared camera couldn't pick you up. So this is going to really help in our fight against the border.
So Border Patrol Chief Raul Ortiz tweeted yesterday that in just 48 hours, agents made over 10,000 illegal migrant apprehensions. They seized 52 pounds of fentanyl. I mean, look, the drug cartels are in charge here, and they are deciding who comes into America and who and at what price. But I'm interested in these islands in terms of the migrants. What are they doing? Hiding out there until they're ready to come in? Tell me what goes on those islands.
You know, these islands, when you get on them, I'm anticipating we're going to find all kinds of trash and wristbands and clothes and staging utensils. They basically hide out, and then when the time's right, they make their final stretch. So we're going to take that away from their ability to access our state. You know, the General Land Office actually stewards millions of acres within 20 miles of the border, and so we're seeing a big uptake in our crossings. And it is amazing to me that we have, through Operation Lone Star, we've acquired or gotten more than enough fentanyl to kill every man, woman, and child in this country. And with this tragedy and the opioid overdoses, I just can't imagine that the Biden administration isn't paying attention and isn't taking thoughtful action to prevent these deaths.
Well, the president of Mexico wrote to Xi Jinping asking him for help controlling the shipments of fentanyl. He also slammed the United States in the letter, claiming that it's the U.S. unjustly blaming Mexico and the cartels for the crisis. Whose fault is it? Is it China pushing the fentanyl underpinnings, the chemicals that make fentanyl, into Mexico to make the drugs, or is it the Mexican cartels, or are they working together?
I think they're working together. It's a win-win for each of them. China's trying to destabilize our country with these drugs. Mexico is a cartel nation. You know, it takes two to secure a border, but the bottom line is until the Biden administration steps up and actually enforces our federal laws, this is going to continue.
Yeah.
You know, we have been dedicated in Texas to filling in where the federal government is not doing its job, and we're going to continue to fight every step of the way.
Cheryl.
Dr. Buckingham, as Texas Land Commissioner, the land as the ranchers, that's what I'm thinking about right now, those desperate ranchers, that they've had their land overrun by these migrants. There's been some altercations involving gunfire, unfortunately. I applaud you on the islands, but obviously this flow of migrants cannot be stopped at this point. What about the private ranchers that are along the border right now? What can you do for them? What is in your power? How can you help them?
Well, we've been dedicating billions of dollars to border security for our local and state police, and actually local military or state military to be able to step in. But you are exactly right. The ones that are hardest hit by this right out of the gate are our ranchers. These migrants coming across, they cut the fences, which then, of course, the cattle are getting out onto the interstate, which is a huge liability. Hitting a big cow on the going 80 miles an hour creates a really big problem. They turn off all the water to the troughs for the cows, so the livestock are dying across the way. I've had many ranchers, and actually some of our agricultural leases on our state lands have had to remove all of their cattle because between turning off the water and the fences being cut, they just can't keep control of their cows, and it's unsafe for everybody. It is directly impactful to our folks who are struggling hard to be sure that we keep that food, fuel, and fiber going to the markets as needed.
Cheryl, it's such an important point that you raise. When I went to the border, one of the trips, I met with a number of ranchers. We were showing pictures there, and this rancher that you see in the picture a minute ago, he told me he will not even go out to throw the garbage out without carrying his pistol, that they have to carry a gun. Their property is getting trashed every day. Is there nothing more to be done right at the border so that people's personal property is not affected, as Cheryl raises?
You know, the best thing we can do is apprehend them as they come across, which we are trying to do. We're trying to enact new laws that give us the ability to apprehend them. But you're right, it is a tremendous problem. And we're seeing hundreds of thousands of people a month come across our border. It is completely overwhelming all of our communities, their medical resources, the schools, and of course law enforcement that's trying to do the right thing.
Well, we're going to watch your leadership on the issue. Dawn Buckingham, great to see you. Thanks very much for you taking all that you can in terms of pushing back on this incredible story. Thank you so much, Dawn.
Thank you so much. We'll be doing everything we can to get complete operational control of our border.
All right, we'll be watching.